speakers poses. This was a showpiece, and it means what it says. It's the pinnacle of everything you've worked for, and several people have worked for years to get this. And it's the practicing of the speech and making the impact to other people that we really aim for.
And practicing how to make speech and do an impact. John has the speaker has eventually arrived at that place. But I was looking for, mean what you say, good and meaningful gestures, word pictures, audience rapport, humour, and excellent use of the voice. We had all the elements. However, the showpiece, therefore, the showpiece means also time. And it's very important. You declared 9:15, but you took 9:58. And when preparing a speech, time is of the essence. We need to be pretty close to that time. The gap is just that little bit too far. So you need, sadly, to do it again. The next time I'm going to suggest you either reduce the content or extend the time. And I'm sure you could have declared 10 minutes or even longer. And when people were asking you questions afterwards, I would suggest you include that and make it longer.
Wow.
You started with an amazing stuff. Started with a very good title. What was that? What were you going to talk about? And I was quite puzzled to start off with, which was good. It made me think. Your salutation was good. You had a pause at the end of it. Because when you do your salutation, when you get up to speak, our voices change. We can socialise and do all sorts. You get up there, you change, you're more formal. And therefore, we all need to know your voice. We also need to know you're going to speak to us. And let us settle down and be comfortable. And that pause allows us to adjust. That's very important for your audience. I've got here, your audience rapport was very good. You involved the audience, you asked questions, you got them thinking and got them joining in. Always a very good thing. When you've got this sort of speech, you need to have something of that. Your eye contact was good. You looked round everybody. We all got involved. Now, that room is not good for eye contact. It's better here with eye contact, with due respect, because I can sweep it back there and backwards and forwards. But there, you're looking up and down tables. It is not easy to do eye contact in that room, but I'm sure everybody felt that they were involved with your speech. I'll leave your voice till the last. That's your compliment to you. We had some excellent gestures. We had there and there. And when you went the furthest distance, your whole body went with it. That's the sort of gesture we need. You did have one or two throwaways, but your gestures were pretty good on that. Your notes were very well used. You looked at them, read them, looked up and spoke, and you managed most of it without notes. You knew what was coming next, so you practiced and you'd worked really hard at that, and I congratulate you on that. You used your voice very well, and you got something about sand on the glass, and you went very, very fine, as if it was delicate, something really nice to touch. And that, I thought, was a very nice way of getting the meaning of this gentle sand on the glass. And you were excited with it, which is what we need. We need the excitement in the voice when something different is happening. And I thought that was a very, very good point on that. You've got, I'm going to have to do your aids afterwards. I'll do that later.
Yeah.
So all that's all very good. And of course you've finished with a question. That's excellent. Always, that's one of the best things. Finish with a question and raise your voice at the end and you're away. Now your learning points. Let me have a look at your learning points. But I'll finish with that with your voice at the end. Your learning points. You, when you're doing visual aids, we want to see them. So you got your phone in. Cling to your phone. Now broadcast, you cling to it. But what are you clinging to that for? This phone, hang it up and say, this phone, it's got a glass, it's got glass. You could have really made something of that and gone for it. It's got glass screen and hold it up to belt the screen instead of just down here. You're not reading it in secret, you're belting it out. Your glass that you actually brought with you, you held that up and really made a demonstration of it. You were proud of that glass. And when you broke it, you went, oh. But you weren't wrong enough on that. There was not enough shock horror when you literally broke on the darn thing. So think of that. Now the difficulty with your cable, your vibra cable, because I couldn't see it, and I think one or two others couldn't actually see it, you could have wound it round your finger. That's what I was trying to do. Round it so you thickened it up, and so you could have wound it round your hand, so we could have seen more pushed together, so we'd possibly have seen it then. So that's your first learning point, is your visual aid. The second learning point here, stop a bullet. Well, did it? Did that glass stop a bullet?
Yes, it can.
No, it didn't in your speech. Stop a bullet. Oh, God. Something can stop a bullet. How impactful, the strength of you've got all your strength there. It stopped a bullet, and then there's pause, a nice long pause, because to get that into our head that a glass can stop a bullet. That should have gone. I'd have liked a bit more humour. You've got it there, you're a humorous person, you've got to put loads and loads of humour there, and I've got a fourth one somewhere here. Have I not wrapped it in a fourth one? Seems I'm still in the dark. I had a fourth one.
Reason enough.
I haven't got a fourth one, I must have forgotten that. Anyway, your voice, finally, fantastic voice. Absolutely clear, well-paced, beautifully spoken all the way through. I knew every word you said. There was no hesitation in your diction or anything like that. You really got the message across of how wonderful glass was and what it meant in our lives. You were soft in cases, you were excited in cases, so you got all the elements of your voice, the pause, the pitch, the pace, all absolutely fantastic. And it was a lovely speech. The only wrong thing was, oh, John, I'm sorry, it was your time. I can't pass you because of the time.
Okay.
But have another go. And as somebody was asking you questions about that glass, and what it did, you could then extend it on that glass and say how it's used for acting and films and all the rest of it, which would have been equally interesting as well as the rest of your speech.
Okay.
I'd love to evaluate it again.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But a fantastic thing.